Welcome to classes of St. Michael's Academy. This is the geography class for ninth standard in which we were doing the chapter 5 weathering. In this chapter today we'll learn about soil and the formation of soil. Just like air, water and sunlight, soil is a prime source of for sustenance of plant life which supports the animal life on earth. All soils initially come from organic substances, rocks and minerals on the earth's surface. So in the previous classes we already learned that how soil is formed from the disintegration of rocks into very fine materials. So the formation of soil is a combination of weathering and parent materials. Its deposition in layers and transportation by weathering agents like rain, wind, etc. over a long period of time. So what is parent material? Parent material are the organic substances from which soils are formed. Decaying of organic substances results in the formation of humus, which makes the soil even more fertile. Soils are usually formed through rocks through the intermediate stage of formation of regolith, which was discussed in the previous class, which results due to weathering of rocks, and fragmented rock materials undergo further decay from fine grains of sand particles, clay, etc. So, from the formation of regolith from weathering of rocks, these fragmented rock materials they further decay from fine grains of sand particles, clay, etc. So, this happens due to the decay of organic substances in the soil. The natural agents of soil formation of this stage are running water, wind, glacier, plants and other organisms. Remains of dead animals and plants decompose and mix with the sand and clay and undergo changes to make organic matter humus in the upper layer of soil. Thus, from the loose, uncompacted dust and rocks found on the top of the bedrock, soil is formed. It is rich in organic matter and minerals that can support life. So, the remains of organic matter as well as the remains of other organisms result in the organic matter known as humus, which is present in the upper layer of soil. So all these substances together are loosened and uncompacted on the top of the bedrock by which soil is formed. Soil erosion, which is the next topic, is the displacement of the upper layer of soil. It is a form of soil degradation. The natural process is caused by the dynamic activity of erosive agents such as water, ice, snow, air, plants, animals, and humans. In accordance with these agents, erosion is sometimes divided into water erosion, glacial erosion, snow erosion, wind erosion, zoogenic erosion, and anthropogenic erosions. Anthropogenic erosions is the erosion caused by human. Soil erosion may be a slow process that continues relatively unnoticed, or it may occur at an alarming rate, causing a serious loss of the topsoil. Coming to the causes of soil erosion, the first cause is character of the soil. If the soil is loose and fragile, it is easily worn away by the agents such as water, ice, snow, wind, plants, and animals. However, if there are trees around, then it holds the soil very tightly and the soil are not loose or fragile, and so soil erosion is not very easy on those kind of land. The second cause is character of land slope, which says that soil erosion takes place very often on steep slopes than on land which is horizontal and flat. So soil erosion is very active on land which are sloping and steep. However, the land which are flat and level to the earth surface, they are not prone to soil erosion so much. Bare land means land which lack vegetation. means where trees and grass do not grow. In these types of land, soil erosion is very common because, as said in the previous reasons causes, the roots of the plants bind the soil and fight against erosion, and if there is no vegetation, then the soil is held loose and it becomes fragile, which is that is why it is prone to erosion. We'll continue with this topic in the next class also. So that's it for today, and if you have any queries or any feedback, please send it to me in the email ID. Thank you.